What's up, people? Your favourite Paul Young lookalike here. I'm walking from Orford to St Helens today. It's a 10 miler. A nice day for it. On the other end there's a barbecue in my nan and granddad's garden. I'm going to have steak for tea. Happy days. That's 1 mile walked. I've reached Longford. I've spotted 2 Nissan Dukes. At 1.5 miles from home, I've left behind the bustle of Warrington, just by the car shop here now. 2 miles done. I've passed Winnick Quay. I'm just coming up to the M62 now. It's quite fitting that I should be adventurising today, because as I flick back through my diaries of past years, this day, the 26th of April, I've been out and about. 3 years ago, I was in South Poland in a town called Gorce. Had a morning in the jacuzzi by myself. Then in the afternoon went for a walk up a mountain called Mniszek, which is actually Polish for dandelion. Old canal lock here. I think this is the Sankey Canal, which goes all the way up to Earlstown. This day in 2006, I was over in Paris, staying with my friend Louis. We had lunch on the Champs-Élysées, and then we went up the Eiffel Tower. Oh, Champs-Élysées, do-do-do-do-do. Oh, Champs-Élysées, do-do-do-do-do. That's 2.5 miles done now. Je me baladais sur l'avenue, le cœur ouvert à l'inconnu. J'avais envie de dire bonjour à n'importe qui. N'importe qui, ce fut toi, je t'ai dit n'importe quoi. Il suffisait de te parler pour t'apprivoiser. Any words within walking distance, if you have the time. So at 3 miles, I'm on the outskirts of Winnick, just heading towards Burtonwood. 2007, I was living in Germany at the time, and on this day, my friend Heather and I, my flatmate, took a train from Dortmund down to Ludenscheid, had a mooch, had an explore, and then we got another train down to Hagen, which had been taken over by life-size dinosaurs. Hello matey, how are you doing? Having a little bum scratch. Hello farmyard friends. Sankey Brook. Such a shame, the old Fiddle in the Bag pub. Fiddler's Ferry on the horizon. 3.5 miles. I've been walking just over an hour now, a third of the way there. It is now at the 4 mile mark that I've reached Burtonwood. Burtonwood is well known for having a US Air Force base during World War II. My granddad said when he was young, they could hear him testing the engines all the way from Newton. At 4.5 miles, you can just see the 9 arches of Sankey Viaduct. Opened in 1830, the earliest major railway viaduct in the world. Five miles, Collins Green. Just about the halfway point as well. Halfway to that barbecue at Nanny and Grandad's. Every now and then you'll come across a street that's well tended. This was one, for sure. One of the houses had a little book swap outside of it. Had some very unique walls with like an enamel on it. Even the dandelions look pretty today. Look at that yellow. That's 5.5. Getting ever closer. 2 hours walked, 6 miles walked, and just ahead of me is the sign welcoming us to St Helens. Over to my right is Billinge Lump. As said before, highest point of St Helens, all of Merseyside I think. Left Collins Green. Billinge Lump was part of an intricate system of beacons across the whole of Britain, which will be lit one by one to warn that the Spanish invasion was coming. Welcome to St Helens, cleaner, greener par. Built 1624, Moss Side farmhouse. It's old, 400 years. Miners Neighbourhood Centre. This is the lovely Fleet Lane area of Par. I need to go and check this place out once it reopens. I think it's like a mining museum. Ravenhead. That's 6.5 miles done now. Check out this old pub building, the Cherry Tree. Absolutely gorgeous. Obviously, there used to be the Greenhorse Brewery here in St Helens. Hey! Welcome to Barbados, people. Got the duckeries. For anyone not familiar with St Helens, the town is made up of 4 townships. They are Windle, Eccleston, Sutton and Par. This is Par. 7 miles done. Spot in the centre of Par, this. At 7.5 miles, this seemed like a good spot to stop. This part of town is called Par Stocks. And in fact, this bit of grass from sat now used to be houses where one of my direct ancestors used to live. That building in front of me, that used to be the Bull's Head pub in the old days. On this patch of land on the left used to be a row of terraced houses called Alma Terrace. And that's where my great-great-grandfather, Edward Holden, lived his whole adult life. But the whole family tree thing is going to have to be one for another episode. That's not why we're here today. One thing I will show you though is the old fire station. Since they built the new one next to B&Q, this one's no longer used. I love St Helens, me. The blood in my veins is literally from these streets round here. This, oh, rather over there, is Pocket Nook. Oh, and by the way, I've just hit 8 miles. Wonder if these are set for knocking down. Looks like it. One of my favourite all-time Polish shops is this one here, Delicia. Why? That's good. But once I came in and when I went to pay at the till, they gave me a raffle ticket and I won a metal bowl which had a cheese grater on top of it. It was really good. Let's go and see what delights they have in today. A little disappointed they didn't have cheesy cabanossi. So a bit chilly. Oh, it's warm out here. Right, let's go into town and see where they've knocked down the car park. Jeść lepiej, żyjesz lepiej. It's good advice. It's where I grew up, this. So many memories from being little. Let me show you a building over this bridge. It's an old pub called the Raven, which was an old coach house. Well, there's a possibility that it might be getting knocked down. They keep blocking the application with the council, but there's our station, St Helens Central, Shore Street. The Hippodrome at the back there. Look at the detail, look at the history. This one is the Quaker House, very old as well. There you go. Can we let this history be lost? Don't knock it down. Turn it into something. Reopen it as a pub, whatever. Let's have a look down the back, down this cobbled street. Wow. Yeah, I'd heard about this. Someone's tried setting fire to the place. And this building on the left, I believe, It's one of the oldest buildings in St Helens. I think it was the very first hospital that the town had. What a shame. This is a nice part of town. Gorgeous old buildings. If you'd have come here years ago, with the shopping centre is there. That's where the Greenhills Brewery used to be. Now when I was a kid, my favourite shop was here on the end. It was called Toy and Hobby. It's the best toy shop you've ever seen. It's a bit crazy that all the shops are gone. Marks and Spencer's, Woolworths. Used to love coming down here as a kid. Don't know why town's so dead, to be honest. Usually a lot more bustling than this. Half the shops are shut. Right, let me go and show you the car park. It's just around the corner. Wow. Look how open it all is. There was a huge car park here. This is crazy. Nice to see Wetherspoons so buzzing though. Tell you what, I bet the view from the top of this car park's a lot different now. Shall we go up? I think we shall. God, this place has been here for years. I have dreams about this place, you know, which is weird. Get great views from up here. Built the old Safeway, the range. Built head office at the top of the hill. Here we are at the top. What can we see? Okay, let's get out of here before someone shouts at us. I forgot I was walking with intent. Just ended up mooching around town now, haven't I? Let's get ourselves up to Nanny's. Ah, the times I spent down here. Bar X. The post office is gone. That used to be Yates's on the corner where Nando's is. St Helens College, where I did my GCSE German at night school. That's all been completely rebuilt since I was here though. This is Beecham's. This is where they used to make the pills. Stunning old building. My mate Louis always calls this l'église, the church. Obviously it's not a church. Brilliant. Let's get a bit closer, have a look at some of the details on the front. Faces, creatures, children. And there's the man himself, Mr. Beecham. And this one here will forever be, for me, Do It All and MFI next door. I used to be an avid 10-pin bowler at one time. This is where I used to play. They turned it into a little, didn't they? St Thomas's Church. When I was little, I used to think Thomas the Tank lived in St Thomas's. Forgot to say I've walked 10 miles. Hey, look! That's new. Polsky Sled. That used to be a recruitment place at one point. Good old Duke Street. These shops have not been changed since time began. Frank N. Manley, he's got a new sign. And that there That used to be the Plaza nightclub. Had lots of adventures in there. Wow. We loved the Plaza. We used to call it the Purple Pit because it was painted purple. There used to be a good model shop here actually. And my mum used to always be in the Christian bookshop here. That used to be the driving test centre. So I passed all them years ago. Definitely getting close now. How many times have I walked these streets? There's some grand old houses here on Denton's Green. You have to ask yourself the question, do you like where you grew up? Or do you just like your childhood? Every time I come round here I get a special warm feeling in my gutty butts. Nostalgia. It feels safe here. One of my earliest memories, I must have been 3, was being here at nursery school, my nan bringing me down. St Andrew's Church, very nice. And my nan said to one of the other mums, I'm his nanny. And the other mum thought, wow, they must be a posh family to have a nanny. 11 miles. As we get to the top here, the top of Denton's Green, we've got 2 brilliant pubs. The Gerrard on your left and the Abbey on the other side. I don't come back here nearly enough. There's the Abbey, can you see? Anyway, I'm half a mile now from my nan and granddad, so we'll wrap it up. Have yourselves a good evening. Thanks for joining me. Till next time.